On this edition of Lexington Now, a community center gets upgrades, Lexington's new workforce center, and honoring the enslaved at Ashland. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of February 10th, 2025. Mayor Linda Gorton joined other city officials for the ribbon cutting on renovations at the Black & Williams Center. Here's more.
As many of you know, this is a really huge day for the neighborhood. We are here to cut a ribbon to officially open this newly renovated gymnasium here at the Black & Williams Neighborhood Center. And neighborhood centers, as all of you, I think, know, play a really important role in people's lives and in the lives of neighborhoods. And this center is a pretty popular place. The Black & Williams Center has a long, rich history here in Lexington. And this center has served as a space for celebrations, community meetings, youth and adult activities, and more. So in 2017, think how long ago that was, this 5,000 square foot gymnasium was closed due to unsafe conditions. And it has since gone, you can look around, gone through a total renovation. And we're really proud of this space. The scope of the renovations includes new roofing, window replacements, new heating, new cooling, multi-purpose flooring. You can see the flooring is really great, and 2 new basketball goals. So we have new storage, a stage platform, a warming kitchenette, and ADA accessible restrooms. They've all been added to allow this gym to serve not only as a community room for neighborhood residents, but a social services-based organization room for organizations that serve our community. Black & Williams was dedicated in honor of the late Evelyn Black and Alex Williams, trailblazers and local leaders in Lexington's African American community. And I suspect they're smiling down on this space today.
Frederick Douglass said that if there is no struggle, there is no progress. Douglass said this in an 1857 speech that was a landmark in the fight for abolition and the Civil War. This appropriate and poignant quote reminds me that progress can require not only effort, but also sacrifice. To arrive at this day, we are cutting the ribbon to officially open this newly renovated gymnasium, and it has taken a lot of effort and a lot of sacrifice.
I just want to say, as a longtime serving member of council, it's just an honor to be here today. This project I know has went through a lot of trials and tribulations. We talked about potentially demolishing this building and creating more parking for the space, but I think to Commissioner Ford, his team, the administration, listening and being responsive to the community and to the folks that use the space, that we need to continue to invest in Black & Williams Center and this neighborhood to create facilities and spaces for the community to come together and to benefit.
I never knew I would learn so much about architecture and renovation when I accepted this position 4 years ago. Membrane and insulation boards for rooftops, wood flooring infill, abatement, and so much more. Thanks to this project, I will be adding some titles to my resume. Mayor Gorton, Councilmember Lynch, all of the council members, past and present, thank you for approving the funds that allowed this gymnasium to be renovated. We know that there are numerous needs throughout the city, but after 7 years of closure, this community is grateful for the completion of this LFUCG project. Many people drive by and wonder what is actually occurring inside of Black & Williams. I can tell you a whole lot more than most people realize and or recognize. There are a lot of dedicated staff who work tirelessly day in and day out for all of the residents of Fayette County. Not only my staff with Community and Resident Services, but social services staff with the Parent and Guardian Empowerment Program, staff and volunteers with NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness, staff and volunteers with WESEP, West End Community Empowerment Project, United Way, Waypoint staff, and the unofficial staff of the building that keep us all in check, the distinguished ladies of Elder Crafters. Elder Crafters represent a satellite site here at Black & Williams as part of the Senior Center. This gym will allow all of these partners an opportunity to expand and enhance services that are already offered. This gymnasium will give the residents of this community, especially the youth, a place for recreation and a space for programming. It will be an outlet for organized fun, but also a site to bring educational opportunities on topics needed in today's world.
I'm extremely proud and honored to join today's ceremony as we celebrate the rebirth of a special community space at the Black & Williams Center Gymnasium, a space that represents the best of Black history in Lexington.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Lexington's new Workforce Center has been officially opened. Mayor Gorton was on hand for the ceremony dedicating the center, which will offer job assistance and training to residents.
The redevelopment of the Davis Park area has been a long-term project for our city. We have been actively working on this area for more than 25 years. Rebuilding roads, building affordable housing, adding a new park and community center, and more. Workforce training is critical to our employers and our residents. We are making investments that help us build a strong workforce and a strong economy. The Davis Park Workforce Center will offer career and employer services that will serve all residents and businesses in Lexington, Fayette County. Staff are available on site to help those seeking a job with essential employability skills such as resume writing, interview skills, and job search assistance. I also want to welcome the neighbors. Neighbors, are you here? I know there's a couple. Yes, thank you for being here. This is always exciting when we have a new addition to Davis Park. Computers and other resources are available here for individuals who want to search for jobs, hold virtual interviews, work on their resumes, participate in online training, and much, much more. The center features a community room for businesses and other organizations to gather for meetings and other events. We might be in that right now. An on-site training room will be used by youth and adults for workshops, career coaching, and training. These resources are critical for our community. They help people get back on their feet. They find better jobs. They train the workforce that our businesses need.
As we all know, a strong community is built on the foundation of a skilled and prepared workforce. This new center is more than just a building. It represents a promise to Lexington that we are committed to ensuring that everyone has access to employment opportunities, resources, training, and the support they need to succeed in today's rapidly changing job market. The Workforce Center is designed as a hub for career development, educational resources, while offering the critical support for job seekers and employers alike. Whether you're exploring a new career path, upskilling, or connecting to local businesses, this center is going to be here to help you. The Davis Park Workforce Center is here to serve everyone in our community, regardless of their background or experience or education. Whether you're a recent high school graduate, you're trying to launch your career, you're considering a career change, or you're an employer seeking to connect with some employees, we're here for you.
The area where we are located deserves good things, after being completely changed by the highway project several years ago. As a Lexington Community Land Trust Board member and council member, I am hopeful about the future today. As we celebrate a wonderful public-private partnership, I know that this will serve people in the immediate neighborhoods and the 11th District neighborhoods and beyond. One cannot live without shelter, and one cannot afford to live without employment. Here, the city is investing in those in need of employment by aiding people in their employment journey, and AU and Associates is providing the other piece of the puzzle. Essential, affordable housing that we all know is in need here in Lexington. There will be open hours for people to come in here or make appointments for their employment needs, and we cannot make a dent in our affordable housing crisis without partnerships like this one. Together, we create a workforce that has a place to call home. Projects like this are essential to our economy and to meeting the needs of our very diverse residents. The Land Trust is grateful to have a workforce center near our new community center and new Parks and Recreation Davis Park. The Land Trust is thrilled to bring together more affordable housing with these and other amenities ready to serve our residents. I want to thank all the amazing people that are here today that joined us in this celebration. Let's get going. Thank you.
We ready? All right. 3, 2, 1.
A new memorial at Ashland when we come back.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Chris Van Brackle with the Lexington Police Department Traffic Unit. Today we are talking about disability accessible parking and the aisles between those parking places. Accessible parking is a valuable and necessary resource for people with disabilities, and that includes the striped area next to accessible parking spots. These are access aisles, and it is illegal to park here, even if you have an accessible parking permit. Police in Lex Park will write tickets when they see vehicles parked in an access aisle or parked in an accessible space without a placard, and the fine is $250. Know where and where not to park. Keep the access aisles clear. Thank you, and drive safe.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. Mayor Gorton and officials at Ashland, the Henry Clay Estate, unveiled a new artwork in honor and memory of those who were enslaved there.
Today, the Ashland Estate is helping us kick off February, which is committed in our 250th birthday to Black history. We know that part of our history was dark. It involved slavery, and it included, as you already know, slaves right here at the Ashland Estate. So Ashland has gone a step above so many others in recognizing this aspect of its past.
We're doing something very different. We've created a special tour called When Reason Sleeps, Brutality Walks Free. This tour will be offered every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11:30 and 2:30. $20 for adults, $10 for college students, and K through 12 students are free. Monday, February 17, courtesy of the Mayor's 250 Lex Commission, we are offering free admission for that day. And we will be running tours throughout the day, but one must go online to reserve your spot, and the spots are filling up rather quickly. We are also here today to unveil the design for our new memorial for the enslaved called Breath of My Ancestors. It's 7 feet tall by 9 feet across of cast bronze with a black patina. In the woman's skirt are images that deal with slavery at Ashland, from hemp, horses, and the individuals. In many respects, it's only fitting that it's a female figure because Ashland wouldn't be here were it not for the women of the Clay family and descendants who protected this place. And unfortunately, we have no physical trace of the people who were enslaved here. The slave quarters that were near the garden were demolished at some time after the Civil War. So there's no physical place to remember them. This memorial will do that. Black history is American history. It is a part of this estate, and it must be told.
When you talk about history, it could always be a touchy and sensitive subject for Black Americans. So I think as we continue to celebrate our history and celebrate and recognize the truth, I think it's important that we continue to look for opportunities to share that history and that truth in a way that could be honest, but then also empowering to the folks that don't always see the beauty in it.
There are a lot of places to learn history, a classroom, books, online, but this is a great place here at this park, at this museum home, a great place to learn that history, to study that history. It's a template that we can use to serve us now and in the future.
I'm going to come at this from a different point of view and talk about Henry Clay the man. And I'm going to begin by saying that Henry Clay was one of the greatest statesmen in the history of America. You look at people who made a true difference in history, you have to put Henry Clay in the top 10. And so we should always honor Henry Clay for the work that still continues today in America, that he began. And yes, Henry Clay was a slave owner. He owned slaves. And that just reflects the fact that life is complicated. And as mankind, we're full of contradictions. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't honor those things that are good and acknowledge that sometimes things that happen are not so good. So I'm here today to celebrate Henry Clay the man for what he gave to this country. And say going forward that we should always, as Jim indicated, recognize history. History should never be whitewashed. We should never go about the process of banning books and saying we're going to stop reading things because we don't like them. I like what Jim said about history as knowledge base. And sometimes it's important to learn about those things that you don't like, that you don't accept, because those too inform you in terms of your value system and your morality.
Ground was broken on a new affordable housing development at Woodland Christian Church. The apartments will benefit senior citizens in the area.
This groundbreaking for the Oaks at Woodland is truly a special moment for our city. It's not every day that we get to gather to celebrate a project that blends so many important goals. Preserving a historic building, creating much needed affordable housing for our seniors, and giving new life and purpose to an existing space.
Communities are talking about affordable housing. This conversation is being had in council chambers and general assemblies, congressional hearing rooms, and even presidential debates. But we can't forget that the most important place this conversation is happening is around people's kitchen tables. How can we afford the rent this month? Can we keep our heat on? Will our child be able to live out that American dream of purchasing their first home? What will I do when my two-story home becomes unmanageable for my physical abilities?
We're on the ground of a church that came to life in the early 1900s. That gives us a connection to the history of this community. This neighborhood is iconic. Just across the street, we've got Woodland Park, which a lot of us played in as kids. The oaks that are native to this area are simply beautiful. It's where people come to gather. It hosts so much in the way of arts.
The Oaks at Woodland will add 38 affordable apartments to that housing stock in Lexington. These apartments will be reserved for seniors at or below 60% AMI, the very residents we need to build housing for.
38 seniors are going to get to call this land where we're standing home. And I can't think of any better use for this house of faith than for
this project to bring comfort and home and financial security to our seniors and people in our community who are on a fixed income and really just need a nice, quiet, safe place to call home. And this is perfect. This is going to be great.
25% of our population here in Fayette County is people 55 and older. 25% is the senior demographic. So this year, as we celebrate Lexington's history, our 250th anniversary, we are really proud to celebrate local institutions, local partners, and businesses who are really what make us tick.
This year, in 2025, we celebrate the 100th anniversary of moving into this historic building with the groundbreaking of the Oaks today. Beginning around 2015, we had a church building that was not thriving. After many Band-Aids, we accepted that the building was more than we could handle by ourselves. It was sort of a time of darkness and uncertainty, but even then, I could see our church being the dynamic community of faith that it was in the inception in 1908. Our leaders have worked to be good stewards of this church property, so we continue to pray and seek God's guidance.
Initially, my connection to Woodland was just through AA meetings in the basement of Woodland Christian Church. I had no idea that the church upstairs needed so much TLC. At the time, I didn't think I had any personal ties to the church, but one day, during a therapy session, my therapist, who happened to sit on Woodland's board, asked me to put my Winterwood hat on. He explained the situation, and I immediately knew that my family's company could help with this. We set up that meeting with Woodland Christian Church and the Winterwood team, and out of those conversations, something incredible began to take shape. Today, 38 units of safe, affordable housing are being created here. As a bonus, we get to restore that beautiful church.
As Woodland came to grips with the reality of our situation, we could have seen it as a fatal emergency. Instead, our faithful church and its leaders saw it as an emergence of something new. One of our guiding scriptures has come from the prophet Isaiah, when God tells Israel, "I am about to do a new thing. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." Through our own wilderness journey and our miraculous partnership with Winterwood, our vision has grown. We see Woodland becoming Lexington's mother church, a center of affordable housing, healing, partnership, and service that nourishes the mind, body, and spirit of all who walk through our doors.
Several years ago, Pastor Christy Joe asked, "Can these bones live?" I don't know if she was talking about a building. I don't know if she was talking about the people. I don't know whether she was talking about the community or the city. But standing here today, we can answer truly, these bones will live because of this partnership. To God be the glory. Amen.
There are several live meetings coming your way this week on Lex TV and streaming online. But remember, you can also find the most up-to-date information on non-televised city business at lexingtonky.gov. Here's this week's meeting coverage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on X and LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.